Boom. Hello, everybody. You will be pleased to know that I've got my sound settings on here the way they're supposed to. Please tell me in the comments if this broadcast is clear. Yesterday, I botched it up, mate. I did. But just to be absolutely positively sure, I have to check it on my monitor here. Just give me a moment. I'll do it. And you know I'll do it. All right, here it is. Did I tell you I'm working on an intro for this broadcast? And let me tell you who I'm thinking of getting to do my intro. Warren Mills, Zambian R&B singer Warren Mills. I'm going to go see him later in the week. And I'm going to try and convince him to sing on my intro. And although I must tell you, my camera looks a bit lopsided. Does it look lopsided to you? You know, it's about a bit of off kilter. And you know me, I'm about trying to, hey, Bo, I see you. I'm about trying to give you the best. You're loud and clear. Thank you so much. Mike, thank you. Can I just hear it on my monitor? Just give me a second. Perfect. Well, as close to perfect as can be. Guys, do me a favor. First of all, I'm over here at SML TV, Simoson Building, plot number 8585 on the corner of Lucia and Simon. When you hear me say Lucia and Simon, what that means is the corner of Kalusha Walia Road and Simon Mwewa Lane. I must say, though, there's a bit of a ping going on. I'm not sure from which device. That's a bit annoying, and we need to get rid of that. Can you hear that? Did you hear that? That's from one of my devices. I don't know which one, but I need to get rid of it because somebody here is going to jump on and say, well, just what the hell is that? So I'm going to get rid of it. Just give me a second here. Yeah, that's the thing with having multiple devices. It could very well be this one. And if it is, I'm going to switch it off, mate. I am. Right. Barbara, loud and clear. I'm glad. Right. The key is to maintain eye contact with you because the tendency is to look down away from you, but we have to look at you so that we make some type of eye connection. A few shout outs to you guys watching you from the USA. Where in the USA? Yeah, I heard that. Bo, you did hear it. Yeah. Where in the USA? We camp here today. Will you really? Somebody who's at Mwanza is watching from the USA. Please tell us where you're watching from. I'd be grateful. For those of you that care to know, I'm using a Shure mic. And incidentally, this was the same type of microphone Michael Jackson used when he first recorded Thriller. If you're an MJ fan, you know that. I know you know that. Okay. And clean and clear. I'm glad. Don't forget the KK flavor. I love that you love that. Honestly, really, I do. I love that you love that. I have to point out, shout out to Zamtel. I know I've shared this, but allow me to share it again. For a long time, I was using MTN here in the office for these broadcasts. And how many people know if you're using a professional microphone, a professional camera, a DSLR camera, and I've got this setup, I've got this console, it's a Rodecaster Pro 2, and I'm using StreamYard as my streaming service. You need a brilliant internet connection to do all of this. And I called up Zamtel not too long ago, and I said that, you know, I think it's coming from my my laptop because I've switched off the thingy-mabobs. I've switched off. Where's that coming from? I've switched off. I think that's coming from my laptop. How do I mute the notification on my laptop? How do I do that? Well, you know what? We're just going to have to wing it. Honestly, really, we're just going to have to dive in head first and just let the chips fall where they may. I know I mentioned this yesterday. I'll say it again today, only because it's very difficult for me to wrap my brain around the fact that Rob Reiner and his wife got killed. Was it yesterday, the day before? Rob Reiner, Hollywood royalty. And this is, I'm hearing it. It's going to drive me nuts. Someone please advise me. Where is that? I know it's probably coming from my laptop, but I don't know how to mute. How do I do that? And then I'm afraid. Can you still hear me? Because what I've done now is that I've reduced the volume on my laptop, but I'm hoping that I haven't cut the volume off. So tell me now, can you hear me? What I've done is I've reduced the volume on my laptop to get rid of that bing sound. And I would be grateful if you could tell me if you can still hear me as I speak to you now. Loud and clear, I'm glad. Who's that? Chilluva. Keller, hey. I haven't seen you in forever, Keller. Everybody say hello to my friend Keller. She's from Zurich. This is a Zambian living in Zurich, and she came down here not too long ago with her wonderful family, and we had a chance to break bread, and that's Christian talk for sit down and chat. Her and her family and her beautiful kids, and they came down, and so good to see you, Keller. Thank you so much. I call her Keller. Yes, can hear you loud and clear. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, as I was saying, horrible news out of Hollywood and Rob Reiner and his wife. And if you're not familiar with Rob Reiner, he gave us such great films as A Few Good Men, Misery with Kathy Bates, A Few Good Men, Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise, Kevin Bacon. Dare I tell you, Demi Moore. I mean, it was a stellar cast. It was an ensemble cast that was just fantastic. I mean, he had this thing. He gave us When Harry Met Sally. And the story is his wayward crackhead son went ahead and just, we don't know the circumstances, but the word out of Hollywood now is that his son killed both him and his wife. It's just, I can't wrap my brain around it, honestly, really. And the other thing I wanted to mention, I know I've said this on my TikTok and I'll say it here. Have you watched that documentary produced by 50 Cent, AKA, what's his name? Alan Jackson? What's 50 Cent's real name? It's something Jackson. Well, he's produced a documentary on P. Diddy. And for years, I thought P. Diddy, there was just something about P. Diddy that just rubbed me the wrong way. Never mind that I always felt upset that he dated Jennifer Lopez. You know, every time I saw him with Jennifer Lopez, for some reason, it just gnawed at me inside in the deep recesses of my spirit. I would look at that and think, what the hell is Jennifer Lopez doing with him? Now it all makes sense. My misgivings, my offsetting misgivings were correct. I knew there was something wrong there. I just couldn't put my finger on it, but I knew there was something wrong. And Curtis Jackson, that's right. Curtis Jackson, I was going to say Alan Jackson. Who's Alan Jackson? Isn't Alan Jackson isn't he like a country music singer? Yeah, I think that. Curtis Jackson produced this documentary on P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Puffy, whoever the hell his name is. He basically, according to that documentary, you know, for years we went through this thing where we didn't know who shot Tupac Shakur. Well, come to find out, Sean Puffy Combs has got his fingerprints all over that case. All over it. And I'll never forget what the Los Angeles Police Department officer said. He said that gang-related murders are very difficult to solve only because the community doesn't come forward to cooperate with the police. Because you've got these communities that think that if you speak to the police, you are snitching. What the hell kind of sicko society is that? I mean, you're helping to solve a murder. Oh no, some people are going to say, oh no, he's snitching. It's not called snitching. It's called being a good citizen. That's what that means. Goodness gracious. Must we teach you everything? All right. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. Guys, oh, by the way, before I even get into that, yesterday Bill 7 sort of steamed its way to victory. And I was amused at Binwell Mpundu trying his very best to sort of throw a spanner in the works. And he was trying to explain himself from a legal jargon point of view. And at one point, the national speaker, Nelly Muti, sort of called Binwell out. And she said this, and I quote, she said this, I thought this was amazing. She said, I know it's nice to be a lawyer, but if you don't possess those qualifications, don't try to interpret the law. Oh, here it is. Don't try to interpret the law, Nelly Muti. She said that. Shut him down is what it was. And I found that amusing. I really did. And there are people like Lily Lunatic Matambo over there in the UK. She swore up and down for days, consistently, hopped on her Facebook page, TikTok, and she told her audience that God had spoken to her, that this bill would never go through, that the PF under Brian Mundubila, they're going to steam to victory. Well, all of that landed with a hollow thud. Now, Lily Lunatic Matambo is running around like a headless chicken. She doesn't know her left from her right. She doesn't know what to make of this because, she always paints in broad strokes. She's always adding spirituality to things that are just regular, normal, common sense things. She'll always just life is spiritual. No, not in every single case, So because she sort of sprinkles her deranged, demented political viewpoint, because she always sprinkles it with spirituality, she comes across as a pure nut job. Lily Lunatic Matambo, I tell you, is one sick puppy. Honestly, really. And I'm telling you the truth. So now she's sort of lost her mind and she doesn't know who to support now. She doesn't know who to endorse now. She's way out of her depth in terms of thinking that she has any sort of influence on anything Zambian politics. She lives in a little tiny little world there in a little cubicle, and she sees the world through this little tiny obscure cubicle. But upon close examination, you realize very quickly just how dwanzy and just how disconnected that chick is. That is one sick puppy. Honestly, really. And I don't mind telling you that. And guys, I'm just being honest, okay? I'll be me and you'll be you. All right? Can we agree on that at least? Let's do that. Right, guys, let's get into it. I just want to talk to you about Chellah Tukuta. Chellah Tukuta gets a call from a con artist. I call them con artists. And there's a reason I do that. It's deliberate. The reason I call them that, I will not give them the satisfaction of referring to them as witch doctors because they're not. There is nothing witch doctory about these chaps. All of them, every single one of them are con artists. And unfortunately, we have now gotten to a stage where these are so-called sangomas, have seen the loophole, they've seen the gap in our people's psyche, and so they've just simply transitioned from sangomas, and they've become these church papas. No theological basis, no theological training, nothing. They just wake up one morning and say, you know what, God's called me, and I'm a papa from now on. I can see your future. I can look into your eyes. And can I prophesy? When I hear these jokers use that term so flippantly, can I prophesy? And then their congregation responds with a crescendo of prophesy. Oh, I tell you, I feel like dousing the whole place with, dare I say it, with bitter lemon juice. Honestly, it just drives me nuts. Our people are being misled by a group of degenerates that know that they're conning the masses. Apparently, the story is there are people, there's some type of, I call him a con artist, he calls himself a witch doctor, that is performing these so-called cleansing rituals. Now, let's be clear. There is no such thing as a cleansing ritual. Anyone that tells you that they're performing a cleansing ritual, any man that says to a woman, I'm performing a cleansing ritual on you, therefore I require for you to take your clothes off, and then I'm going to do this, that, and the other, and I'm going to smear you with some type of oil so that I can pray this thing out of you. That's just his way of fulfilling his fleshly desires and camouflaging it with spirituality. Ooh, that's a mouthful there, but I know you got it. Boy, I'll tell you what, this is the level to which we have degenerated as a people. Jesus said even the very elect will be deceived, will be misled. And we're witnessing this almost resurgence, this renaissance of con artists that are cloaking themselves in spirituality, and the public are eating it, lapping it up, and they are smeared. No, not smeared, snared. That's the word, snared. They are snared into believing that all this hogwash is real when none of it is real. It's just the lustful, fleshly appetite of a man that wants to get into your pants, and he's covering it and cloaking it, camouflaging it in spirituality. And you young chicks, you young girls are lapping it up. Open your eyes. You don't need people to warn you about this. The red flags are already there for you to see. So Chhellah the other day, he sort of, I didn't watch everything he said, but I did get the gist of what he said, because I'm not a big Chellah Tukuta fan. Okay. I'm not that I don't roll with him. He doesn't roll with me. But this topic is worth discussion because it's being, there are people out there that are being snared, that are being, literally drawn in hook, line, and sinker. And we're watching this unfold in real time. This is the reason I have taken it upon myself. I've been seeing this for years. It's always bothered me that these so-called witch doctors, which they're not, they're simply con artists, that they take paint and then they put on a banner, and it's usually a yellow cloth, or sometimes it could be a white cloth, and then they advertise their wayward wares. That's a mouthful. And then they just stick them in a residential area. Sometimes you see them in a prominent, opulent neighborhood. Dr. Sonso, that can bring back lost loved ones. Honey, you can't bring back diddly squat. Dr. Keto, he can make you pass exams. Honey, if you want to pass your exams, read and study. Dr. Fito, he can guarantee that your American visa is given to you. You want an American visa? Apply. These guys have no power whatsoever. They don't even have the ability to make an ant deviate from its path, much less get you an American visa. These are the same jokers. These are the same idiots. These are the same bottom feeders, vagabonds, leeches These are the same guys that are telling you, in order for you to experience wealth, abundance, overflowing, and an abundant life, go and sleep with so-and-so. Have you heard of a more ridiculous thing? But you would be shocked at how many people want to use these so-called sangomas because they're lazy as hell. In their minds, they think this is the path to prosperity. If I can just do what this so-called witch doctor is telling me to do, I'm going to be rich. It's all a con game. Come on, guys, wake up. You don't even need me to sit here and tell you that. Come on. Put a line through their names instead of under it, is what I say. Hear, hear. Let's drink to that. Notwithstanding, it's just water, but it'll go down just the same. And now the comments, as my father-in-law used to say. Dr. Nsonso, yes. What is he saying? Where's the point that's married to the headline? Chellah was contacted. In Chawama. There you go. Chawama. Let's talk. Yeah, lazy people indeed. Guys, you heard the UPND, and I'm full disclosure, I must clear up something. You guys remember that in the there was a proposed provision in Bill 7 that suggested that a member of parliament that dies while serving his or her constituency, once that position is vacant, either through death or some type of absence, Bill 7 initially proposed that as a cost-saving measure, the winning party that occupied the seat, for example, just to be clear, let's say, for example, in Chawama, as you know, Tarsila Lungu has been missing. She's been AWOL, or as we say in Zambia, she's been AWOL. You are AWOL. Tarsila has been missing from her post since June of 2025, and understandably, she lost her father, and we all have to go through a time of grief. But the thing is, she sort of overshot. She went beyond the rules of the House. And so the House, which is the National Assembly, basically said to Tarsila, look, you need to come in and sort of exculpate yourself, explain what the hell's going on, Tarsila, because you're not at your post. Well, Tarsila ignored all of that. So consequently, ultimately, National Assembly declared Chawama's seat vacant. Now, the original Bill 7, proposed that in such a case, instead of going for a lengthy, costly by-election, it was proposed in Bill 7 that we do away with the by-elections, that the party simply selects a replacement for the prior occupant of that seat. In this case, the PF would select another person from within the party. Now, I can understand where that could have been prone to corruption and all that. So that particular clause was done away with. So as it stands now, by-elections are still in play. If and when a person leaves the post or dies while on duty, in a sense, by-elections will happen, okay? Now, there's a reason I brought that up. Oh, that's right. So now, in Chawama, the UPND initially announced a young man by the name of Timothy something. They announced him and they said, well, he's the guy that's going to be the candidate for the UPND. And then all of a sudden, almost in mid-stride, the UPND announced that, oh no, we're not going to go with this guy, Timothy. We're going to go with Morgan Munda, who I think is just absolutely insane. Oh my goodness. What a mess. Anyway, so Morgan Munda, like it or not, the fact And the truth is, he's the guy that the people of Chawama have somehow connected with. He's on the ground. And this is why I think it's important. I mean, winning is good. Winning, I mean, that's what a political party wants. A political party wants a winning candidate. A political party wants somebody that can steer them to victory. But I believe that the caliber of the candidate also matters. It's not just about grassroots connection, even though that is a very important component in winning elections. You do need someone that is connected to the grassroots. And clearly, this Morgan Munda, oh my goodness, what a mess. What a mess. But the same Morgan Munda, like it, love him, loathe him, despise him, do whatever, fortunately or unfortunately, he's the chap that's connected to the grassroots, mate. I mean, if you go into Chawama now, the people they talk about there is that same Morgan Munda. So what's a political party supposed to do? I mean, I know the news on the ground was that one of the reasons they replaced Timothy was that it came out a bit late that he actually wasn't even a registered voter or something like that. And so he was disqualified on that front, which I thought was a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, politics is what it is. So my view of, and I've always been very critical of Morgan Munda, only because he doesn't strike me as a person that's all there, to be honest. I mean, let's just be clear. You know, he doesn't strike me as the type of guy that has his lift going all the way up to the top floor. And that's putting it mildly. It is. Let me stop talking before I get in trouble. Right. Did you call us here for Tasila? Excuse me. Listen. Okay? This is my broadcast. You listen. If there's anything in this broadcast you don't like, well, that's between you and God. Okay? But I'm not going to sit here and appease, what's his name? What the hell kind of name is this? Chipopo, Chipapa. Okay? You need to relax. Okay? That's what you need to do. Honestly, really. You know, don't make me put a line through your name instead of under it, brother, because I'll do it. I will. All righty. Well, guys, a few more. Abolish. Well, no. Somebody says, yeah. Kim says, abolish by-elections was a miss. You think so? Okay. Only when there's a tie. Right. I don't understand why the government has allowed all those adverts of fake doctors. Alamwebantu, alamwandi. Can you please say that again? Lusaka City Council to Apapata. These chaps, these adverts are ubiquitous. Are you familiar with that word, ubiquitous? That means they're everywhere. They're everywhere. And you tell a council, police worker, go to Lusaka City Council, and do you know that for the city of Lusaka, Lusaka City Council only has a poultry. You're not going to believe this when I tell you this. This is going to make your hair straight if it's curled, or make it curled if it's straight. Sit down for this because I'm about to blow your mind. Do you know that for the entire city of Lusaka, Lusaka City Council only has a poultry, a measly, a mayor. That's mere, okay? In Zambia, we say mere. We say mayor for mere. We only have a mayor, 105 council police workers for the whole Lusaka city. What's that? For who? For what for? For why? Lusaka city needs at least 5,000 council workers, council police. And they need to be on the beat, not sitting in their offices there at the Civic Center, sipping tea and watching reruns of I Love Lucy. They shouldn't be doing that. 105 council police for the entire city of Lusaka. Are you joking? But no government. You need to up your game. You need to up the ante. If you care about this city and the well-being of Lusaka, you're going to prioritize council police. Now, where was I going with this? I had a point. Somebody tell me. Tell me in the comments. It escapes me now. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, that's right. I was saying in relation to the banners, these illegal banners. And keep in mind, these jokers, these parasites that place their cloth adverts don't pay anything to the council, not a single kwacha. But if you were to tell council police, Kuti, you were council police, what you want chibana chija, chichose. Do you know what the council police is going to say to you? Yeah, go over there and just tear it off. That's what I said. Did I stutter? Go over there, rip it off the poles. Bwana, narafimba. Amolu yarafimba. Amen. So narapofka. Yakula umfwa kaibara ndoa. If I pull off that sign, I shall be bewitched. This is the caliber of council workers we have. A bunch of superstitious Neanderthals. I mean, let's just go ahead and say it. Nobody else is saying it. And it's the absolute truth. A bunch of superstitious Neanderthals. No, is it a wonder? Is it a wonder that our city's a mess? You didn't hear that from me, though. Right. All right, guys. I got to go. Thanks for watching. How long have I? 32 minutes I've been on. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Thanks for watching. A few more comments. Somebody says, but I think abolishing by-elections was just cool, looking at the costs it comes with. Okay. Right. Morgan is the right candidate for Chawama under UPND. The man has been there for days. This is his time. Yes, I agree in terms of his connection to the grassroots. I do. I think he's done his groundwork. And if all political parties care about is winning, then he's your man. You know, because chances are he will win that seat. It's not cast in stone, but the probability of him winning is quite high. That's just my view. I could be wrong because, you know, on social media, everybody's prophesying everything. That's not a prophecy. That's my opinion. Okay, let's be clear. All right. Well, hey, guys, I got to rock and roll. You are always on point. Thank you for saying that. Clarify this for us. Does the speaker vote? I don't know. That is a technical question that I do not have the answer to. Maybe somebody here can answer that question. That's a good question, and I don't know. Hey, Stace. I see you, Stacey. I do. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Did you say Mianda? I didn't think Mianda Falls. No, brother. Is that a brother? Was that a woman or man? No, Neanderthals. I didn't think Mianda Falls. Not to know, I don't know where this. It's Neanderthals. Okay, a bunch of unenlightened, deplorable Neanderthals, not Neanderthals. That's a good one. Oh, that's gonna keep me laughing for weeks. It's your no feel, guys. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye.